Today on the Tiger Basketball Report, we'll preview the Tigers game against George Washington. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Basketball Report starts now. Hello again and welcome inside the Towson Sports Network studios for today's episode of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum, and joining me as always is head coach Diane Richardson. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are getting your home opener, your first time coaching inside CQ Arena this Thursday at 7 o'clock against the GW Colonials. What is the team's mood heading into their first home opener? I know it's an exciting time. You guys are trying to pack CQ, free admission to the game, I understand, and
yes,
it should be a pretty good atmosphere.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have a lot of people in. We've gotten a lot of confirmation, so we want to make them feel good and welcomed in our home opener.
GW 0-2 losses to Princeton and an overtime loss to South Dakota State. This is a team you're familiar with.
Correct.
I imagine any team that starts off the year 0-2 and especially coming off an overtime loss, they're hungry. They want that win. They don't want to start a year off 0-3. And what do you have to kind of prepare the girls to be looking for a team intensity-wise that is coming in with they need to win now?
Right, and I think they'll be aggressive coming in, and we have to be equally aggressive too. So, we're coming off of a loss, in my opinion, a not so good loss, but we've got to be aggressive as well. So we've got to worry about us and, starting the tempo and containing that tempo.
Kelly Prangy, 6'5" senior, someone you're familiar with. She's pacing them right now. She's averaging 19.5 points, 7.5 rebounds through those two games. You guys have gone with a smaller lineup at times. Do you have to adjust anything to account for her? She's standing 6'5". You have some height on your bench. Do you try to throw some of that height at her early and mess with your lineup, or do you try to keep it business as usual?
Well, the thing about Kelly, and I know her very well, she's actually a mismatch problem. Even though she's 6'5", she scores three-pointers. So she's a lot on the perimeter. So not only do we have to combat her with size, but we've got to be able to combat her with movement and lateral movement. So we've got to have a big that can move laterally with her because she'll stay out on the perimeter quite a bit.
Coming from GW, former assistant, as well as Zach Cantor, who's also a former assistant, how does that help? Because you are a little familiar with some of these players. Does that give you any kind of insight? I mean, you haven't been there now for the last couple of years, granted, but you do know what these kids' tendencies were when you were there. And how do you track their development and try to use that to your advantage game plan-wise?
Well, as we were watching film, Zach and I, yesterday, and Kelly Prangy made a move, and I said, oh, I remember when you taught her that move. So we are familiar with a lot of them. A lot of those kids were kids that I recruited when I was there at GW. So we kind of know their tendencies. So I don't know if they're going to try to beat coach when they come here, or I don't know how they're going to take it. But, we're going to be as business as usual, and, we'll exchange pleasantries after the game. But while we're on the court, it's going to be war.
Taking a look at your last game, UMass, you had a turnover issues in that game. With now, you go from your season opener to your home opener, and it's different types of emotions. You'll have our band playing, our fight song playing, our fans in the stands. You have to manage those emotions again for the new kids.
Right.
How do you do that? And especially for the guards who might want to come out, push the ball, make some plays early, and you don't want to get into an early hole.
Well, and that's exactly. We've got to have our own pace and our tempo, but we also have to protect the ball. We've got to secure the ball. No, turnovers, live ball turnovers, which is what we had the other day with nerves. I think being in CQ Arena will give us some kind of comfortability, but, who knows tomorrow. I was at the men's game last night, and it was on fire in here. So hopefully we'll get a big crowd tomorrow, and we've got to manage that. And
this team's composition, they seem, from the times I've been around them early this year, they seem like a tighter group. They seem tighter than they were last year. Last year, they were kind of missing a leader, a vocal leader. You think back to somebody like Dominique Johnson or Tanisha McTiller, Latori Hines-Allen even. Has somebody emerged, or has a couple players emerged as that leader, as that glue kid that the team can kind of look to when times are getting rough. I think about someone like Deja maybe who spent the first 3 years of her career kind of quiet, and when I've been at practice now, I hear Deja constantly.
Yeah, we have a different kind of feel, and they are closer because it's more of a us against them mentality right now. So we've had several players to step up and take on leadership roles. So we're quite pleased with that. But overall, it's a kind of us against them mentality where, it's kind of like I've got my sister's back. So we've got a lot of people stepping up and knowing that the way we're going to win is we're going to win together.
And before we go, I've seen it all over that you guys are really pushing this game, the PAC CQ. It's free admission. You're a great recruiter. I'm going to give you one chance right here, looking right into that camera. Why should people come out on Thursday night?
Because it's going to be exciting. I think we're a new Towson team. I think we're going to bring some excitement. It'll be exciting in the stands, and we want everybody to be behind us and be behind the crowd because we're pretty excited about this season.
All right. Towson NGW hits the floor inside CQ Arena Thursday at 7 o'clock. I'll have the call on TowsonTigers.com starting at 6:45. Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck against GW.
Thank you so much.
And for Coach Diane Richardson, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.